Now I'm impressed.
Hey, I'm down in New Orleans at the Republican convention put on by Louisiana, but attracting presidential candidates from all over the country. This is the biggest gathering of Republicans in the country with all these candidates. Charlie Davis here, my longtime friend. We started off together putting websites who he helped me with back many years ago, has become the superstar. You put this thing on?
For only about 48 hours.
How do you analyze it? This to me is just, I'm overwhelmed by it. How satisfied are you with the turnout? You've got press from all over the country. You've got most of the major presidential candidates. What's your reaction? What's happening?
We're excited. We've got 3 governors, 9 presidential candidates. We've got congressmen from around the country, 2,000 delegates from 38 states. I mean, it's a win by any stretch of the imagination. We've got press, I think, from 50 or 60 different outlets and even 3 or 4 foreign countries. And so it's a huge hit. It's not just big for the Republican Party, but it's big for Louisiana. When you can get this sort of high-profile focus on our state and the city of New Orleans, it raises the issues that we care about. Offshore drilling, the Mississippi, things that are going on in our state that we want the country to hear about. So it's important for our state to bring this sort of attention here on a regular basis.
Were you surprised at that response? I agree with you. It's been unbelievable for Louisiana. It's put Louisiana back in the mainstream. And I say we weren't out of the mainstream, but Louisiana often has gotten lost in the shuffle. But you know, every presidential candidate is praising Louisiana, so it really ought to make a whole lot of difference in terms of the perspective and understanding what's going on down here, right?
Oh yeah, it does. And it's a number of factors. Number one, we did this last year. We pulled off probably the most successful Southern Republican Leadership Conference in 30 or 40 years. And so we had a lot of momentum going into it. The city of New Orleans is a huge draw. This is just a great convention city. It's a huge nugget, a huge resource for our state that we probably don't utilize as often as we should. And so you add that with the mixture of these high-profile personalities, the people, the media, and you have a hit on your hands every time.
Well, you've certainly hit a home run. Any favorites out of this thing? Well, I said let's don't say favorites. Who seems to do? It looks like Michelle Bachmann, who's speaking as we speak. You can hear in the background.
Yes, very impressive.
Very impressive. Ron Paul has his supporters. I mean, he shakes the whole room in terms of the emotion, and so it's pretty hard to pick a favorite. Herman Cain, the pizza guy, sure wowed the crowd down here, didn't he?
You know, Herman Cain actually launched his presidential effort here in this building a little over a year ago at our last conference. And so when he showed up, ironically, no one had really heard of Herman Cain. But the buzz leaving that convention a year ago was about Herman Cain, and now you can see where he is. He's leading in some of the polls. He's a top-tier candidate. I mean, he's going places. He's an amazing guy.
Wonder why Romney, who leads most of the polls right now, chose not to come down. Do you think he just felt like there wasn't strong territory for him in the Deep South, or what do you think his reasoning was?
You know, I'm not sure. Obviously, you have a number of balls in the air to juggle when you're a presidential candidate. He has to fundraise a lot. He said recently he's not doing any straw polls, so I'm sure our straw poll here, he doesn't want to calm down, obviously, and lose. I hope he doesn't write off the South. I think that would be a mistake. I think if Romney is going to be the eventual nominee, he really shouldn't do that and try to write off the South. I think that's a bad strategy.
Well, you did
backfire.
Well, you did a heck of a convention. I just am knocked over by it, Charlie. I wish you every success, and thanks for spending some time with us today.
You got it. Thanks for coming down.
Take care.